Well, welcome to this week's edition of Bolton In, all thanks to Palmer Bet. And boys, fair dinkum, I feel like I'm bolting in at the moment. Down here in Melbourne for Cup Week, it's been enormous. As I say, a good evening and a good morning to Shane Anderson and Adam McGrath. How you going, legends?
Good, Matty. Good, Adam. Good to be with you both. And certainly hasn't it been a massive week globally. Of course, all eyes in Australia on Melbourne Cup week, but what's happening in the US with the election certainly got the eyes of the world focused on the state and our good mate Adam McGrath at the moment.
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
bunking down at
Ads,
the moment.
I was going to say, Ad, so just tell us, give us a bit of an insight for an expat, an Aussie,
Uh-huh.
living in the States as we
Yeah.
speak, right smack bang in the middle of an election. It looks like our man Donald Trump's going to get the job done too.
I tell you what, no, it's crazy over here, Matty. It's just the last few days you can watch it turn, and then today it's been on a knife's edge. Everybody just gets a little bit more uptight. People don't want to talk to anybody about certain things. It's something that still takes me a little bit while to get used to. I actually moved, I think it was about a month before the last election, and yeah, this one's been no different. But yeah, I'm bunkered down. I'm laying low, just keeping to myself at the moment, staying safe.
I love it. Hey, Shane, we'll come back to you, mate. Let's talk about the Melbourne Cup firstly. Below our chance, Robbie Nolan, what a story. Fair dinkum. He's been up singing with the famous Ronan Keating today at Oak State luncheon up on stage. Unbelievable ride, unbelievable victory. And I've only ever been to two Melbourne Cups, boys. And would you believe it? Sheila Laxon's won them both.
Yeah, it's an amazing story in many ways. I think it was the story or the result the race needed, with the pressure points that have been on the Melbourne Cup for quite a few years. To see an amazing Australian story, a horse that's got very much a sprinter's pedigree, bought relatively cheap out of the Magic Million sale, that has now been given a long and lengthy pathway to get to Melbourne Cup glory and delivered with an outstanding staying performance to win. Great ride, Robbie Dolan. Tremendous story, the whole backstory of how Robbie met Sheila Laxon on a P&O cruise when he was singing and she was on a vacation attached to the Melbourne Cup tour. It's just insane when you think about it. But it was an old school Melbourne Cup style win. We haven't seen a win like that probably since Prince of Penzance to a degree, almost a decade before. It harks back to the days gone by when I was a kid, that type of horse coming through and winning the Melbourne Cup. But a fantastic story. It actually was visually a tremendous race to watch, even though we had an upset result with the winner. But some tremendous runs in the race throughout. But to your point, a great story, and I think one that can resonate for a lot of people. You love to see sort of a group of battlers, a horse that was bred for very little money, sold through the sale ring for little money, win one of the biggest prizes in racing.
Amazing. And Ads, form lines, mate. The horses that run 1-2 at a Melbourne Cup finished 13 and 14 in a Caulfield Cup. Unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, look, it doesn't help people. I think you boys would be the same. I don't have many friends all year round. Then all of a sudden my phone starts going off. You do your form, you hand it out, and then these results happen. Everybody tells you a loser. They'll talk to you in 365 days again. So it's a vicious cycle, but with those type of upsets, there weren't too many winners. That's the type of day you want one of those just trifectas that come out of the machine. You pick no numbers and you hope for a bit of luck. And I've seen a few people get that actually. So a couple of million going around. But yeah, Shane sort of covered. Great storyline. Robbie Dolan sitting with Ronan Keating today was pretty good to see as well. And as Shane said as well, I agree. I think it was probably the story we needed. If we weren't going to get the form results, well, then this is probably a nice way to tie it all together.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's been a complete wipeout. The bookies would have had a wonderful day, I reckon, on Melbourne Cup Day. They might have it might have been a break-even day, I reckon, last Saturday, Derby Day. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of this weekend plays out. I just want to touch on, I want to get your opinion, boys. Shane, I'll come back to you first. Declan Bates, obviously taken off prior to Jenny. What were your thoughts, mate, when you got up and you woke up this morning to that news?
I'll be really honest.
Yeah.
Don't care. I honestly,
Yeah.
No, and I don't say that flippantly. Like I've been around in racing for so long. At the end of the day, there's always, if a horse is seemingly out of form,
You've got to change things, I guess.
there's always something. Now, I think, look, Tony Tobre, the owner of Pride of Jenny, is a very vocal, hands-on style of owner. And he's looking for something that's going to regenerate a winning performance out of his mare, who was flatly disappointing in the Cox Plate. When based on what her market was and what sort of I think the fan base was expecting from her. But the reality is she's probably run to a similar level of form as when she won the Queen Elizabeth. It was just a vastly different run race. It was still fastly run, but the field was a lot closer and was able to take advantage of that pace. Whereas when she won the Queen Elizabeth, they were so far behind. So look, racing's been going 300 years. Jockey changes happen for ridiculous reasons all the way through that 300-year journey. So I'm at the stage where I don't buy into it. Declan, I feel for him. He's given great service to the stable and with that mare, and he's had a great connection with it. But look, the reality is, if she's fitting well, she's going to run a good race on Saturday with Benny Mellum in the saddle. But I'm not. It didn't sway me either way. I still think she's going as well as she can this campaign. But I'm sure Declan will get continued opportunities with Kira Maher. He's got a great relationship with the stable.
Yeah, he's handled himself really well too, Deck. He's a beauty. Don't worry about that. Ads coming from a jockey manager side of things, mate. Your thoughts?
Yeah, well, jockey manager, I mean, I'm used to the jockeys being sacked and having to move around, but I was a bit the opposite. I thought it was pretty average, to be honest, and I felt a little bit for Declan Bates. I'm happy that he's got some great results on this horse and he's had a bit of luck, but Shane sort of talked about Tony the episode before and our thoughts, and I think at the moment he's just sort of going off in his own tangent and looking to blame elsewhere rather than just facing the facts, and I don't think Benny Mellum hopping on is going to change the story this weekend. So I think at the moment he's sort of outspoken, he's using his voice a lot, and I don't think this move is going to change anything. I think, as Shane said, I think she's had a pretty good preparation. Her first run was a bit average. I think she ran accordingly last start. I think dropping back, she'll be more suited this weekend as well, but I wouldn't be blaming Declan Bates in any of this.
Righto, love it, boys. 1 for, 1 against by the sounds of that, and I'm sitting on the fence. I'm saying nothing. Hey, let's have a look at the 3 Group 1 Saturday. It is going to be a cracking day. This Champions Day is really sensational now. I love it, to be honest, and looking forward to getting out there on Saturday. It's going to be a cracker. We'll start off with the Champion Mile on the market, all thanks to Palm Betty's race number 7 over the 1,600 metres. Mr. Brightside is the favourite. Equal favourite with Antino at $5.50. Pride of Jenny at $6. Fangirl $6. Broadsiding $6. Another Will on the back up at $10. Amelia's Jewel on the back up at $15. And Steffi Magnetica at $16. Shane, I'm going to start with you, mate. This is a cracking race. Some horse at the end of preps and horses backing up. It's tricky to kind of line it all up, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's a good race coming up. And look, regardless of the jockey change attached to Pride of Jenny, I'm anticipating it'll be a strongly run race. I don't think they're going to alter tactics too much. It'll be stupid to do so. But, she's going to roll along. And if they're close enough, they're all going to get their chance to run past her. And I think they can. I've gone to Broadsiding, the 3-year-old, as my best in the race. Astonishingly good when winning the Golden Rose first up, first up in his campaign. He then progressed to the Caulfield Guineas, where he ran really well. We discussed that race a fair bit. He lost momentum at a key time coming around the bend, but he was still strong to the line. And then, outside of Via Sistina, I thought his run of the Cox Plate was quite outstanding. He was back in the field. He was caught deep, and he kept trying over the concluding stages and ended up getting third behind 2 world-class performers, Via Sistina and Prognosis. I think if he's come through that run, and he looks still to be a little bit fresher than perhaps some of his rivals in this race, and I think that might serve him well, Matty. So I'm pretty keen Broadsiding can win, the 3-year-old. I like him a lot. We've all of us on this show have been fans of the horse all the way through his career, and I think this would be a really good finale for his Spring Carnival. So I'm keen on Broadsiding as my best. My value bet, I think another Will can prove himself right up here. You and I, in particular, I think from memory, were pretty confident about him in the Toorak, and that was just a weird race. He was well beaten, but he was back to winning form at Flemington on Saturday, and I think he can run a big race again. I still think he's up to weight for age company at the elite levels, and around that sort of $10 quote that you referenced, I think that's a good price for him, particularly at the each way. So Broadsiding my best, my value bet another Will, but I'm really looking forward to the mile.
What about you, Ads? You with Broadsiding too, legend?
Look, I definitely had broadsiding a couple of times as I continue to go through this race. I thought this was one of the better races we've dissected over the last sort of 5, 6 weeks that we've been doing this. I'm really looking forward to this, and I think there could be 6 or 7 different winners, which excites me when looking at it. I've kind of used the old AFL analogy. You know, when the first team in the first four loses and they play the winner of the teams from the 5 and the 8, and everyone always thinks the winner of the 5 and the 8 is going to win and the loser's going to bow out in straight sets. I've done that with Mr. Brightside. When I went back and looked at it, and we all know my history with Mr. Brightside as well. Second in the Memsey, really good run. Winner in the Mackay Diva. Second in the Fian, which we all tipped Pride of Jenny at Moonee Valley. And then we all had question marks going up to the 2000. So if we eliminate that 2000 out of our mind, Mr. Brightside's gone as good as we thought it was going to. Winner of the Mackay, second behind Pride of Jenny. We expected that in that race. So I'm going to go back to just the distance champ, to be honest. Won 11 from 19 over the mile, won 3 from 8 here at the track. The blinkers go on, which I think is a key change there. That was what I wanted to see, and that's what's pushed me in the end to go with this horse over broadsiding. I just think that gear change is going to sharpen him up, back to the preferred distance, back to chasing Pride of Jenny. I like the setup here, so I'll be going with Mr. Brightside. And my value bet here is a horse that I absolutely love as well. And I think she's coming through and going to play a big part in a lot of these races. And that's Steffi Magnetica. I really liked her in the Stradbroke last year. Thought her run in the Everest was really good, beaten 2.3 by Bella Nipotina. And then she backed that up in the Golden Eagle. We had a bit of luck. I think she could have really got through and gone very, very close in the end. So 57 kilos, Chad Schofield taking the ride. She's run at this track and finished second as well. I think she's a horse on the rise, and I think the extra distance going up to the mile is really going to suit her.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I'm with Shane. Same selections. Best broadsiding. I reckon it was enormous in the Cox Plate for mine. And I reckon it is going to be cherry ripe to get the job done on Saturday. And $6, I reckon. We're going to be saying about what time was the race? 4:30. At about 4:35, we're going to say, how stupid are we? You should have just launched into this horse because it's fair dinkum. I reckon it's got so much upside, and it is a cracking race. And I'm with you, mate, with another Will. I just love the turn of foot last weekend. You know, it's been a horse I think that you think it works into races, but just the turn of foot. And I actually spoke to Jamie Carr on Sunday, and she said he just had a good feel about it, like just that wanted to go through the gears, and she said I was worried for a couple of strides. I thought, hang on, I don't know what we got here in the team, but then she said when he wanted to let down, he just went bush, and she was really bullish about the horse. So that's a good sign, I reckon. So broadsiding on top, another Will as the value bet. Let's go to the champion sprint, and this is going to be a belter as well. Bella, Nipotina, and Giga Kick. They're at the top of the market, all thanks to Palmer Bet, of course. Finished 1-2 in the Everest. $3.70 for Bella. What a magnificent horse she has been. And Giga Kick at $4. Sunshine in Paris, $7. Overpass at $8. What a beauty he's been. Barraquil, the up-and-comer at $9.50. Bellatrix Star, $12. Estriella, $18. And Right the Party at $21. Ads, I'm coming back to you. This is a ripping edition too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I'm the global ambassador for Bella Nipotina, but this job is not about being the ambassador for Palmer Bet. It's about trying to find the winner. I'm going to take her on. It's killing me to do so. I don't want to do so, but I will be going with number 1, Giga Kick. And the final thing that separated me is the track record here. Giga Kick, 3 runs at Flemington for 2 wins. Bella Nipotina, 10 starts, never won, 4 top 3 finishes. I know she's got better in recent campaigns, and I certainly took that in consideration. But just the way that Giga Kick was taking that ground off Bella Nipotina late last time they went head-to-head in the Everest, just the way you have to run a Flemington straight as well, I'm just leaning advantage to him here. I think he's well-suited. I like Mark Zara in the saddle, and as I said, that was just the final bit that made me separate. So I'll go with Giga Kick to break a 545-day drought. From Sunshine in Paris, I know this is one of Shane's horses. He's had a lot of time for her along the way, and she's been great. I mean, she was beaten less than a length at a TJ at Randwick last preparation. Then we saw her come out and win the Shirako to start this preparation, beaten 1.5 by Bella Nipotina and 1.7 by Bella Nipotina. And we know that's the best form in the country at the moment. So I'm happy to have her as my value bet. She's won the 5 from 12, and J-Mac in the saddle's another bonus.
Yeah, love your thought process. I'm with Giga Kick to turn the tables on Bella Nipotina. I'm a big one. I reckon horses that go well down the straight. You got to take that into consideration. And you're right, Bella Nipotina. 10 goes at the track, yet to win 4 placings. That's why the Giga Kick gets the big tick for mine to get the job done. And on value, I'm actually with a horse that absolutely loves the Flemington Straight. And this horse is a silly price. And the stable's going, well, right to party. 4 from 6, 3 from 4 track and distance. Loves it. Really good win last start. $21. Nice little bit of value for the Palmer Bet followers. Let's turn our attention now. Let's turn our attention now. It is the Champion Stakes over the 2,000 metres. And, well, we've got a shorty, as expected, Via Sistina, coming off that cracking Cox Plate victory. $1.60 favourite in Palmer Bet markets. A Tissue at $8, Without a Fight at $11. Alias $13, Duke de Sessa at $18, Docklands $18, Royal Champion $21, Deny Knowledge $27, and Kingswood at $34. Of course, Kingswood, it looks unlikely to get a run in the 5 Diamonds up in Sydney. I think it's second emergency. So it will probably go this way, you would imagine. Shano, Via Sistina, just wins. What do you think, mate?
Yeah, I think she does. I mean, what do you say? She's won a Cox Plate by 8 lengths in track record time. she's basically up against a weaker field this time at a track she's already a Group 1 winner. She ticks the boxes. I think probably the initial price that was put up for her, I think it's a touch of overs based on what we saw last start. So I think Via Sistina is clearly the one to beat in the Champion Stakes. And I think she wins and wins easily. If she's fitting well, she's just a class above them. So I've got her clearly as my best in the race. But it's up to you whether you want to take the short price. I think she's priced still probably a slight touch of overs based on what we saw last start. So she's clearly the one to beat. The value bet for mine, Royal Champion. I thought this horse ran really well at the Valley last start. I think getting up to 2,000 metres away for age is probably a really solid push. A big tick. I think it's going to suit him ideally, particularly the wide open expanses of Flemington. So I think Royal Champion's going to run a big race. But my best Via Sistina, my value, Royal Champion in the Champion Stakes.
Who do you like in the sprint, Shano?
What's that? The sprint? Yeah, look, I was going to come back to the
He's in Melbourne now. He's just going rogue. He's going absolutely rogue.
Sorry, mate.
It's irrelevant. We're both with Giggy Kick Matty. Who cares?
I just dropped you off there, Shane. Hey, mate.
That's okay.
I'm hosting now.
Yeah, it's put it this way, Matty. It's not the first time people have dropped me off. That's okay. No, in the sprint, I'm in the camp of Giga Kick. I think he can win to the points that were raised earlier, particularly about Bella Nicotina down the straight. She's proven vulnerable despite the fact she's in outstanding form. The straight probably is something that maybe is questionable for her, but Giga Kick my best. My value bet in the sprint, though, I like Private Life, the Caulfield Giddies winner. I love a miler coming back to the straight 1,200 metres and, coming off that, the freshen up after winning the Guineas. If you're getting odds of around sort of that $31 mark, which a lot of early markets have got him priced at, I think Private Life for the each way is a really good bet. At that price, I think he's over. So Giga Kick my best in the sprint, my value bet in Private Life. And I'll let Adam go back now to the Champions, the Champion Stakes.
Yeah, I'm with you, Shane. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to be taking on Via Sistina. Look, I won't be putting my money down, but I think she'll just be winning the race for the exact reasons that you said. My value bet would be a Tissue. We've talked about this horse plenty of times when it goes back to Flemington. Just a completely different animal. We saw that last time winning the Empire Rose over the mile. She's now won 4 from 9 at this track, 2 from 4 at the track and distance. And the Amelia Jewel form looks quite strong now. So I think a Tissue with Jai McNeil in the saddle can run on and fill that value bet. So that'll be my 2 bets for that race.
I'm with Via Sistina. Hard or impossible to go past. Short enough, but geez, that was a good win in the Cox Plate. Actually seen J Mac this morning too, just walking out of the Crown Casino where they obviously bunker him up for the week down here, and he was in good spirits and looking forward to the next couple of days, I think. What a rider he is. I'm actually, I don't know, I'm keen to get your thoughts, boys, on the topic here. Without a Fight, the Caulfield Melbourne Cup winner. I know coming back from a long layoff, but did you see that little jump out the other day? I actually reckon this horse looks good and firing to kind of do something on the weekend. What do you boys reckon?
Yeah, he's got the ability to be right in it. I mean, he's an outstanding horse. That just the only question for mine is the lengthy layoff, and it's a hot field, and he's up against a horse that's just won a Cox Plate in record time by 8 lengths. So I'm expecting him to run well, to your point, Matty, and I know Adam's a huge fan of him, but really keen to sort of get your views on him, Adam.
Yeah, look, I like the bit of work that I saw as well leading into it. He'd be one that if you are willing to take on Via Sistina or you're hoping for a bit of value, I'd be putting in the quaddie. I think this horse is going to run a really big race fresh as well. So I'm with you, Matty. And I've noticed there's been a bit of money for it as well since the markets have opened. There has been that support coming, which is a good sign because we saw last campaign that the money was pretty accurate without a fight. When they backed it, it ran really well.
Yeah, love it. Righto, what else have we got around the country? I'll come to you first, Ads. We like anything out west, mate? Or are we sticking to Flemington?
No, we do like out west. Race 1, number 2, Hemlock Stone. There's going to be a short price favourite in it, Simply, who I think is trying to win about 5 or 6 in a row. We're going to take it on with the stablemate Hemlock Stone. I think it can be winning the staying race at senior, taking on the apprentice there. And then in race 6, number 9, Diamond Scene. This was a late change. They weren't meant to be going to this race at all. They've changed their mind, going to the Lucky Grey Stakes. 1,400 up to 1,800 on a week backup, and they draw a good gate. Stephen Parnham takes a ride. Again, Pike is on the favourite there, Buckets Ridge, but I think Diamond Scene can beat it. So we'll take on the 2 favourites with Hemlock Stone in race 1 and Diamond Scene in race 6.
Beautiful, mate. Shane, what are your thoughts, buddy?
Yeah, Matty, I'm sticking with Flemington. The Queen Elizabeth Stakes race 3 on the card. I'm going for the new addition to the Waller Camp Kinesiology. I think this 4-year-old by Australian standards, but still a 3-year-old by European standards, with Damien Lane in the saddle. I think he's a very, very good bet in this race. He's had a very good, strong European campaign when trained by outstanding trainer Jessica Harrington. He's a horse that's actually got tactical speed. So from the inside barrier, I think he'll be bang on pace. And from there, he can win the race, and he's probably going to be a Melbourne Cup contender in 12 months' time. So I think Kinesiology can win race 3, the Queen Elizabeth. And my value bet is in race 5, Coco's Sun, coming through the Caulfield Cup run where she was alongside the 1-2 in the Melbourne Cup. Look, she's back to 2,000 metres in the Matriarch, but I think that might suit her. I think she's been going actually quite well throughout the spring campaign up against the A-graders, and this is a drop in class for her. So I think at a massive price, Coco Sun at around that sort of $31 mark, she's an each way bet.
Love it, mate. Absolutely love it. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm doing something a little bit different here. A first starter coming down from Sydney. I've just seen this horse, and when Bjorn Baker brings one down to Melbourne, he likes to win over the Carnival. He likes a party, Bjorn. And I reckon this might be it. Benny Mellon booked, race 2, number 11, within the law. First starter by Lucky Vega. Looks to be a smart horse. And I just reckon the lead to bring this horse down here is a big push. There would have been plenty of races they could have aimed at up in Sydney, but I reckon there's a reason they want to come down here because I reckon they've got an opinion of it. So race 2, number 11, within the law is my best bet on the weekend. But I'll tell you what, it's been a tough old week so far, boys. I haven't found too many winners. I don't know about you two, but it's been a struggle.
Yeah, it's been a tough carnival, I think. I reckon the bookies would be nicely in front of the way we've been seeing some of these results.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Agree. Yeah, it's the best week of racing historically, Cup week at Flemington, but it's also without a doubt the toughest week in racing. So if you are ahead, well done. Let's hope it stays that way by the time we get through Saturday's card.
Hey, boys, lovely to see you. You stay safe, Ads, because World War III could break out over there in the next couple of days.
The shutters are down, the windows are locked. So I've got a blurred screen so they don't know where I am.
I was another week too. It should have been Halloween this week, I reckon. They should have had the vote on this because it's just crazy out there at the moment. Hey, Shane, always a pleasure as well, mate. Great to talk to you, boys. Been a great couple of weeks and a massive day this weekend. Download the Palmer Bet app, get involved. And as we always say, gamble responsibly and always think about what you're really gambling with. Legends, we'll talk next week.
See you, boys.
See you, guys.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.